Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. All right, today is number 14, the end of number 14 since my grandson and I planted. You see I collected eggs. I got 18 today. But I just finished watering all the beds. It was supposed to rain today. It said 76% chance or something like that, and we got a light sprinkle in town for about 20-30 minutes. According to my rain gauge, I barely had a trace out here. The ground in the beds was still dry. So I came home, took care of the chickens, came over and started watering the garden. I should have already watered it. I shouldn't have been waiting on the rain, but I checked. I didn't see any tomato plants until I got over here. I got a couple of them. I think this one and this one have got a tiny, tiny little sprout right dead center, which is where I planted the tomatoes, coming up. So we'll see if that's a weed or a tomato, but I think it's tomato. As you can see here, the early peas are doing really well. Oop, I forgot to water that bed. I did all the rest of them. I forgot to do this grow bag. This one's got a little tiny coming up in the middle of it. Can y'all see that there? And so I've got 2 or 3 of them with little tiny places popping up. So the onions, I counted them. I've got 21, I think, that have popped up. I'm going to turn the light on. I'm so used to it being on. All right. Anyway, so 21 onions that are sprouted really well over there. So I watered the squash bed here. I don't see any squash coming up in this bed yet. Came to the zucchini bed here, and I've got one coming up right there and another one coming up right there. And I thought I saw another one, but either way, so at least 2 have come up there. I started looking at the carrots, and I showed y'all in the last video these little bitty ones right here. Well, I've got several in the line where we planted the seed tape. There's another there, and several over here. So the carrots are starting to pop up. So I checked the red potatoes right here, and I can't remember if it was the red potatoes or the white potatoes over here, but I've got one that I can see has tried to start. So maybe I should have been watering a little bit earlier. But there's definitely one. I think that's it right there. The sprouts coming up out of the ground. So maybe we didn't plant them deep enough. I don't know. But something's popping up there. And then over here, I had the back of a potato that was showing. So over there, actually. I actually just grabbed the dirt and sunk it down a little bit more. This is the squash that got hurt by the freeze, and that one over there. But there's another one coming up right there. Hasn't popped out completely yet, but it's coming. So none of the cherry tomatoes, I could tell, were popping up, but I did water them really well today. It's 96% chance of rain for tomorrow, which is Saturday here. So I wasn't going to water because we were supposed to get rain this afternoon and tomorrow, but it wasn't wet, so it needs to be wet. I'm hoping some more plants will pop up now that they got a shot of water, and then hopefully we'll get at least some of the rain they're forecasting for tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon is supposed to be gone. It's supposed to be gone by, I think my weather app said 2 o'clock or something. So we'll see. I'll get out here and try to film a little more if the weather allows me to. You know, the storms a lot of times will move north of you or south of you and you don't get anything. But the early peas are looking fantastic. So I'm going to work on those when I get a chance to put those stakes in and the string to give them something to run on. And as y'all see, I got 1 or 2 dirty ones. Not terrible, but so like I said, I counted the onions, and there's at least 21 here. So I do have a few tiny tomato plants popping up. I've got some zucchini popping up. I got squash popping up over there, but nothing in this bed. I think I got potatoes that are getting ready to come up, and I've got some tiny carrots that are popping up over there. So hopefully after this water and the rain this weekend, and we're forecasted for the, 70s next week, a lot of sunshine. So hopefully that'll spruce these things on up and let them start growing. And I won't have to replant as we discussed in the comments on the last video. But either way, I'll add to this video and show y'all what I get done. I plan on getting my weed eater out and killing all these weeds that are growing around the edge of the beds too. But we'll see what all I get done depending on the weather and time and all that good stuff. All right, I'll be back. All right, so I think I counted the onions last night, and I believe there's 22. But anywho, it is Friday evening. Just got home from work, came straight out to the garden to check and see if I see anything new. And I want to check the tomatoes first. Nothing in either of those. Nothing in that one. I watered last night, and we got quite a bit of rain last night and this morning. So nothing in those 4. Nothing in that one. I'm going to tell you what, I'm about ready to... Nothing in that one. Makes me want to replant the tomatoes. But... Alright. See, there's a little one right there that popped up. That's one, and that's a beefsteak tomato. I do not see one in these others. I think there's one over here. Yep, there's one popped up. Very hard for y'all to see because it's aimed straight at me. But it's right there. Louis didn't come home last night, but he came up this afternoon. So I got 2 tomato plants that have barely sprouted. The early peas are looking really, really good. Let's check on the zucchini. So this whole bed should be zucchini. I don't see any on this side. That's a weed. There's another weed. All right, I got one good one that's popped up there, and I got another one that's starting to come up right there. That's all I see. Nope, there's another one coming up. If I can get over there, because this cat likes to be in front of my feet. There's one popping up on this side, right there. So 3 zucchini plants are starting. That's a weed. Oh, there's another one. I just pulled a weed out and there it was. So I got 4 zucchini plants that are about ready to pop up and do something. And I have not seen any squash in this bed. This bed is all summer squash. And I don't see anything that's popped up. I'm looking, I just don't see it. I mean, normally, before the leaves actually come up, you'll see. That's possible, but I doubt it. You'll see the leaf, you know, starting to break the ground, but I don't see anything. Now, the carrots, they're tiny, but y'all, they're here. See right here? They're in that row. They're in that row, that seed tape. And then there's another row right here and another row. See them starting right there? It's very hard to focus. So in all those seed tape rows, I got a bunch of little tiny carrots popped up all over this thing, which is good. It took them a while, but it worked. All right, So this is red potatoes. Looking to see if anything is starting to break the ground. And I don't see anything. A few little weeds. But I don't see any potatoes that have started to break and pop out. Looks like something's dug in here. Could have been my cat. But I just don't see anywhere where a potato has popped through. This is white potato. Uh-oh. Look at there. Is that a potato? Nope, that's a rock. I'll throw that out. There's one right there. It's got some green on it that's come up. That's the one I saw the other day earlier in this video. But I do not see another one that's come up. So far just that one. And it's just barely starting. Now that's the squash that popped up before the freeze. And so was this one. And there's another one coming up right there. I was looking to see if there was one over on this corner, and I just don't see it. And I don't see one in the middle. I may have to replant those two that the freeze got, which is not a big deal. I don't want them all ripen at the same time anyway. But there's quite a bit going on. It's just not quite there yet. We're supposed to be partly cloudy, partly sunny tomorrow, and the rain's supposed to be gone. So hopefully these plants that are getting ready to pop up will soak up some of this moisture from last night's rain and today's rain, and then when that sun comes out tomorrow, because we're not going to get any today. There's a dark cloud between me and where the sun is, and by the time the cloud moves, the trees will be in the way. So we're not going to get any sunshine today, but maybe those plants will react to it tomorrow and pop up out of there. They're having serve day at church tomorrow, and my oldest daughter and her husband and the boys are going. So I went last time. I'm not planning on going tomorrow, but so that means I probably won't have the boys. And I really wanted to get that other raised bed put together and you know, ready for soil with my grandson, but if they're doing serve day, that's more important right now. So all right, let's see if I can get some scratch and throw it to these chickens. Y'all, I bought a different brand of cat food that was supposed to be chicken and turkey or something, and in like a Ziploc sealed bag, you know, but it's a real big bag, 20 to 25 pounds, something like that. And this cat does not like it. He would rather go hungry than eat that food. And I have not been to the store to buy something else. All right, I got buds all over my peach tree. I need to get out here and prune this thing this weekend. I don't want it so tall. I don't want it so bushy. I want to trim this thing down a bunch. And I got another one right over there. And then that's a nectarine back there. The blueberry bush over there is covered with little blooms all over it, or buds. So I need to prune some of these things back before they get too tall. I don't want to have to use a ladder. I don't want to have to use a ladder to harvest anything. And honestly, unless I spray the peaches with something Probably not going to get any anyway. Last year, the bugs just ate every dead burn peach on there. The chickens enjoyed them, but y'all, I have to hold my arm straight out in order to get full. And it's just not my habit, but the chickens enjoyed the peaches last year. I'd come out every day or two and pick 3 or 4 because they had bugs in them, you know, worms in them, and throw them down and the chickens would eat them. But I didn't get any, so something, and I got buds all over that nectarine tree, but it never produces. There was 2, and one of them didn't make it. But anyway, there's another peach tree over there, and then of course my fig tree, I cut the smaller one down because it's same age and it just would not grow. And then the apple trees ain't gonna never do nothing. They're probably gonna get cut down. Meant to do it this winter, I just didn't get it done. Anywho, all right, well, I guess we'll see what else I can do tomorrow and try to get done if the weather allows and all that good stuff. I'll be back. See y'all. All right, guys, so this is how much rain I got. 1 line below an inch. So 9/10 of an inch of rain last night and today. So that's not bad, but we needed rain. It's been raining all around me and I just haven't gotten much here. So the garden needed it. I just wanted to show y'all that. All right, I got up off the ground. See what the chickens were fussing about. I don't know what it was. Might have been a rooster doing his job. I don't know. But as you can see, I moved those 2 grow bags. Got some cardboard laid down on top of the weed mat. These other beds did not have weed mat up under them, just cardboard. So I probably should have done it that way. But this one, you see the colors faded a lot on these things too. But I don't care. I mean, it doesn't affect the growing. I noticed I put the corner panels on upside down, or set the whole thing upside down over there. So doing this one right, but I'm gonna get it put together real quick. My grandson couldn't come this weekend. We had serve day at church today, and I did not go. I ended up going to work for a few minutes to help an electrician out, get some stuff he needed. And then I went and ran some chores, filled both tanks up on the truck, and went and bought some more soil to go in this grow bed that we're going to put together. And then I'm going to dump the soil in and mix it up well, and probably plant the other 2 items that I wanted to plant to begin with in this bed. And I may go ahead and replant squash and zucchini. I've got a couple zucchini plants coming up. The carrots are coming up. 1 potato is coming up over there. So the squash, the 2 that popped up here, I think the frost got them. So they haven't improved or done anything. And I'm going to get this bed put together and see if I can't get some more chores done to at least try to be ready. So I'll be back. Alrighty, there she is. So that's another 3 by 6. So it's the same size as these other 2. So all 3 down in the middle are 3 by 6. The large ones on the outside are 4 by 8. And then 2 3 by 3s. I should have got 4 by 4 for back there, but it works. So the inside of what this frame will be, a greenhouse one day, has everything it needs. There will be a lot more to go around it on the outside, but this will be plenty for me to grow right now. I can always take the tiller and till up the ground back in the back there where the garden used to be, and plant more things that need more space, like corn and okra. Man, I grew the devil out of corn and okra when I planted it back there, which I've put tons of amended soil back there and lime and compost trying to build that soil up. So I could always do that if I had to, since the new chicken pens aren't built, because they're going to go there. But there's plenty of room out in the field if I had to. you can grow a lot of food in these little raised beds. And that's kind of the plan. So let me get to dumping bags. Alrighty, well, I was about to dump my last 2 or 3 bags in this middle bed, and my bee guide guy drove up, and he added another box. Well, actually, he didn't add a box. He checked them and treated them for mites just in case, and then he left another box there. He's hoping when he comes back, they will have started raising more queens, and he can take a few queen cells out and put in that box and start another hive. So I know y'all can't really see it from here, but let me see. There you go. Box sitting on the ground behind it. That's what he's hoping, because the hive's gotten pretty big since he brought it here, and he don't want it to swarm. So he's hoping if they raise another queen, instead of half of them swarming away, he can take that queen and put in that box, and then they won't swarm, because they'll lose half their bees to the new queen, and he'll have another hive. So anyway, all right, I bought 5 bags of the regular soil we put in the bottom. This garden soil, we compost in it. Unfortunately, it's not organic. I'm not going to lie to y'all, it's not. But we all know that black cow stuff. Let's see if I can read one over here. I got them stuffed in. I don't even remember if it's organic. It doesn't say that, does it? It just says cow manure. But it does say all natural. So don't know if that means there's chemicals or whatever in it or not. But so I got 5 bags of the, no I didn't, I got 7 bags of the regular soil, and then 3 bags of black cow. And we had a lot of rain yesterday, so everything was wet. But I probably could have added more to it. But here's the deal. Next year, when that compost is ready, I'll be adding more to all these beds, so that one will just get a little extra. But I went ahead and got all my cages out. I have not planted yet. I'm going to plant in the middle of each one of these cages. And y'all, I don't know if y'all have ever done that, but these cages, the legs on them are so long, sometimes they won't stand up straight. So I snip part of the legs off so that it'll sit down toward that bottom wire, and it gives it more stability. And it kind of don't move around on you so much. Now, yeah, my plants are going to get taller, but they're a whole lot more firm in the place where they are, so they won't lean over so bad. Some of my cages are broken places. It's not a big deal. But I put 5 cages in each half of this bed, and I went ahead and put 5 in each half of the early pea bed. So I'm going to plant one more of those. I got to go inside and get my seeds to plant in this bed. And I may stick a few extra squash seeds or zucchini seeds or something down in the soil while I'm out here with all the seeds, and try to get them to grow. I may even do the tomatoes that way. I've got a few that's got little bitty. If y'all can see, I got to get in the where y'all are in the shade. I got little bitty tomatoes started in about 3 of the bags. So I may have been a little early, but that's okay. I planted on the 14th, Valentine's Day. I wrote that on my little tag there. Let me pull this out and show y'all. I wrote it on my tag, what type it was and how many days it takes for it to harvest. Of course, that's an average, but that way I can keep up with how long something's been planted. So today is the 28th of February, which means it's been exactly 2 weeks since I originally planted. And the carrots are coming up, the onions are doing well, the early peas are doing well. I've got a couple of zucchini plants, I think 3 coming up. I've got, or had a couple squash. I've got 1 potato and 2 or 3 tomatoes. So half the garden's already come up and the other half hadn't. So I kind of got to jump on it. Maybe I did plant early, but let me go get my seeds out here. I'm going to set them up on my tailgate, and I'm going to get everything planted that I want, and we'll see how it comes out. Because you know what, if I plant more squash here and some of the original squash comes up, it'll just be a few weeks behind the other squash, and maybe that'll help me get a little bit more fruit. I'm not going to stress over it. I can always pinch it off and throw it away. So let me go get my seeds. All right, guys, everything is planted, it suggested 1 to 2 seeds. So I put 2 seeds in each one. And I added another one to the early sugar snap peas over there. That's the one that was missing. And I added some more seeds to the zucchini because all of them haven't come up. So I added more. Hopefully they'll come up. And the squash, I did the same thing. I replanted that whole bed. And I added new squash, summer squash, to this bed because the 2 that popped up got, hit by the frost and didn't survive. So I just replanted that whole thing. So everything's been replanted, all the tomato plants. I redid all those. I redid the cherry tomatoes and the beefsteak tomatoes. So hopefully in a couple more weeks, we got some prettier weather, a lot warmer weather. It's going to be in the 70s. There's even a couple of days forecasting. There's even a couple of days forecasted into the low 80s. So we've got some warmer weather coming. Y'all see my hat? Take this thing off. Anyway, I don't wear a hat a whole lot, but I did put that one on. So I've done all I can do except go get my weed eater and start killing these weeds before they get any worse. So that's what I'm fixing to do. Go grab the weed eater and a fresh battery and come knock out these weeds that are growing. And I got to pick up my spikes from where I trimmed all those cages. And I'll be done in the garden until something starts to grow and starts to produce something. So I appreciate you guys watching. I know for y'all it's not a whole lot, but for me, I've got 5 or 6 different little parts of video to edit together and make it for one good video for y'all, or one piece video. Whether it's good or not is up to y'all, I guess. But either way, I'm gonna get my metal pieces picked up and thrown in the dumpster there, and I'm gonna get my weed eater and cut all these weeds down. Then I'm gonna get my hose out and re-water. Even though we got a lot of rain yesterday, this evening, not right now, I'm going to re-water just to moisten the soil a little bit around all those seeds I just put down. And hopefully that'll get them a good start with this warmer weather. So thank y'all for watching. Remember what I always tell you: Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe, be prepared. Grow some food, y'all. It's not that hard. It's really not. If you mess it up, what's it cost you? A little bit of time? Come on, anybody can do that. Y'all be good.